I figured before we start this video, I just want to say I'm sorry that we didn't do New Year's to celebrate with you guys.
Yeah.
But I hope this video makes up for it.
Yeah.
So, it's for me and Matt,
Killer Kyle.
enjoy a gift for you. Nostrovia.
Nostrovia.
Let's get her done. Hey, me and Matt here, and
I'm Killer Kyle.
welcome to another episode of Wheels of Fury. Hey, me and Matt here. This is Killer Kyle. We're back, baby.
Hell yeah.
Another episode of Wheels of Fury. We're gonna talk about the best and worst of 2021.
Yeah. Certainly interesting year.
Yeah. And since we weren't around for New Year's, I thought, let's fucking do it. And I mean, it was a lot of good things, certainly a lot of bad things, obviously, and we didn't really make a list, so
Yeah.
I think we'll just wing it, I guess. So what do you want to start with? WWE, let's start off with the Royal Rumble, which was fairly good.
Yeah.
I mean, you have well, actually no, this was the second time you saw Edge.
Yep.
And so, it was really cool to see that. I mean, you have a lot of good matches as well, but the real focus was Edge winning the Royal Rumble for the second time.
Yeah. One thing that is very interesting, I've noticed over the last little while, when they've had somebody win the Rumble for, let's say, their second time, how just the length of time between, like, when they first initially won it and then the second time they won it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Edge first won the Royal Rumble in, what was it, 2011?
Yep.
And then he won last year's Rumble, so 10 years in between. Then, you know, there is the length of time he was out because he, you know, retired, but, like, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you have the fact that he won in 2011 and went in to only lose to Chris Jericho.
Yeah.
And, you know, that was bullshit. But then also, actually, no, that was 2010. He won. But nonetheless,
Yeah.
you have that. And then last year, and I made a rant about it, if you want to go watch Wrestlemania 37 with you, there it is. You know, going into the Royal Rumble and then winning, but then you go into WrestleMania and you think, okay, he's finally getting to get his match with Roman Reigns,
Yes.
the Tribal Chief, which we'll talk about him in a minute. But then you have Bryan Danielson, or Daniel Bryan at the time.
Yeah.
And he's a guy that, yeah, maybe he did deserve one last one. The way it happened, though,
Yeah.
so,
Aside from that, you know, Royal Rumble as a whole last year was actually pretty good.
yeah, I definitely agree with that. But no, it was a good Royal Rumble. And so and this leads into WrestleMania, which was going to be the trial run, if you will, of having a live audience.
Yeah.
Because, you know, we have the whole Thunderdome, which began in 2020. And honestly, it was a very good, like, setting. It was a very good idea
Yeah.
brought on by Vince and everyone else. Just instead of having an empty arena.
Yeah.
So that was cool. But the real test to bring back an audience was for WrestleMania at Raymond James Stadium.
Yep.
And holy shit, was it worth it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, considering the fact that right as they were about to start the show, it started raining, you know.
Yeah, imagine that.
Show itself is still good.
I mean, yeah.
Then again, you know, Florida, weather's unpredictable, or at least.
And I mean, you look at it too, it's 2 nights. The year before that,
Yeah.
you know, we went to 2 nights, which I think is a genius idea when you think about it, because you could have as many matches as you want, and all you have to do is cut it in half.
Oh, yeah. Like, you can easily make both night. Like, WrestleMania always has a fairly big card. And so, you divide it into 2 nights, and then, you know, let's say each night is 3 hours, and you can put as many matches as you want for each night. So, I mean, in the end, it works out.
Yeah. But I mean, you have that. You have WrestleMania Backlash.
Yep.
Which was, you know, Bryan Danielson's last match. Or no, his last match was on SmackDown.
Yes.
So we'll get to that when we talk about AEW, but let's talk about the fucking town releases. I mean, you have a company that's 60 years old, over 60 years old. And you take these guys in 2020 and you say, nope, we don't want nothing to do with you. You're fired. We have nothing.
Yeah, we have nothing for you, so we'll just release you.
Granted, some of them came back. I will give you that.
Yes.
But 2021, it just kept happening again.
Yeah.
And what happened? They went to other companies.
Oh, yeah.
They thrived somewhere else because you, Vince McMahon, had nothing for them. It was $1 billion company. And instead of investing in the talent that you have, you decide to say, fuck it. You're gone. There was no excuse for that. There was no, and then, you know, you have a talent like EC3, yes, as much as I shit on EC3, he was a talent. A good talent at that. And you could have used him a lot better than you did the first time.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm glad that he left to reinvent himself. Wyndham Rotunda, you took a guy like Bray Wyatt, a guy that was money. You have him on NXT, you have him with the late Brody Lee and Eric Rowan
And Braun.
and Braun Strowman. We'll get to him in a second.
Yeah.
And then you just give him a bunch of little shitty matches. You put the mask on him, and then you have him in a match with Randy Orton at WrestleMania. A match that you already had at WrestleMania 33. And then, bye-bye. Adam Shearer had the Intercontinental title, the Raw Tag Team Championships, one with a little snot-nosed kid that didn't have no business being at WrestleMania, and two with Seth Rollins, which he was going to face anyways. And then the whole thing with Alexa Bliss. And the swamp match at Extreme Rules. And then what did you do? Bye-bye. Yeah, he was the Universal Champion. Huzzah! Let's see, who else can I talk about? Oh yeah, Eric Young. A guy that is... Well, you know what? It's not really a sad story.
No.
Because he's back where he belongs in Impact. If I'm forgetting anybody, you let me know. But the bottom line is, the moral of the story, fuck you, Vince.
About anybody. Fuck, there's a list, mile fucking long of people that were released that year. How much time you got for us to get into every single one of them? Oh wait, that takes too goddamn long. Anyways, yeah. The releases that happened is just like, some of them was like, okay, they weren't really doing much on TV, so, let them go off and, do whatever they want, go wherever they want, etc., etc. But there were others that were like, why? Case in point, Strowman. You got, okay, he held Underground Champion. Hell of a fucking talent. Great, could speak fairly well. Has wicked matches with guys like Big Show, Mark Henry, and several others, and was climbing up to the mountaintop, and then, you shaved his head and whatever. I was like, okay, fine, that's cool. He gets the Universal Champion at first, and then, goes through the whole thing, and shaves his head, blah, 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 blah. But then it was like, well, we don't know what to do with it right now, so we'll just let you do your own thing. Couldn't you let him, hang around for a little bit? Hell, fucking put him on main event. Hell, you could have had him go back to NXT and do something in NXT, or just, whatever, but you just... I don't know. There was quite a few people that, when they were released, it's like, that don't make sense. There was a lot of really good, talented people that were actually still doing fairly good with WWE. They may not have been doing a whole lot, but they're still doing fairly well, and still on TV every so often, then hit the road, Jack. Don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Like, I don't get it.
Yeah.
That aside,
Keith Lee.
yeah.
Again, a wrestler from Evolve and Ring of Honor. And he did a fairly great job on NXT.
Oh, yeah.
Well, actually, no, he wasn't a tag team champion, but he had the North American and NXT championship and did fairly well with his fellow Ring of Honor wrestling comrades, or whatever you want to call it.
Yes.
And, oh, we can't have him with the shirt off. We gotta put a singlet on him. Ah, ha, 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 ha. And then he got COVID. He almost died.
Yeah.
So what do? Let's bring him back and call him, say it with me now, Bearcat Lee.
Keith Bearcat Lee. Out of all the stupid nicknames there's been in wrestling, that takes the cake. Oh, wait, I got another one for you. So, apparently, I was reading that John Morrison, he's another one that got released fairly recently, went back to AAA. Cool, fine. Nothing wrong with that. Take a guess what his name might be.
It's not Johnny Mundo again.
No?
Oh. Oh no. Johnny AAA.
No. I don't think AAA would go that ridiculous.
Oh, I bet you any money it's gonna be ridiculous.
But, when I read it, I was like, oh, you fucking kidding me? Johnny Superstar. Just when you thought Johnny Impact was fucking stupid enough, no, that takes the cake to a whole new level. Like, come on. AAA, you are way more original than this. Although I had seen he's going to be making an appearance for something, and his name was Johnny I can't quite pronounce it, but it's like, okay, at least that's better than Johnny fucking Superstar. Anyways.
Look at NXT. And fuck! A lot of those talents didn't make it to Raw or SmackDown.
True.
Because Vince has this habit of fucking up a lot of the characters, or whatever you want to call it. You know, it was a great idea to have Adam Cole and Ray Dragon thrive on NXT.
Yeah.
It was amazing. You have Roderick Strong still on there. But you get rid of Dominic Dijakovic, he went over to Raw. You know, Keith Lee ended up, well, yeah, he was on the main roster.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing that really pisses me off was Kevin. You took a guy like Karrion Kross, Keller Cross, you call him Karrion Kross, and you know, he did great on NXT. He did really good on it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he was injured, but he came back, and then you put him on the main roster, and you dress him up like Quang. Are you fucking kidding me right now? Not only that, but Scarlett didn't even join him.
No.
So yeah, I'm glad that he split.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Okay, so now that we got that out of our system,
Yeah.
honestly, you know, for all the shit that WWE does, and sometimes I wonder why I'm still a fan after 30 years now. You know what, they still do a fairly good job at some points.
Oh, yeah. Just like I was saying last night, you know, as much as we complain about certain things with WWE and, you know, releases and matches and whatever else, Vince still has his moments of pure genius. You know, the Thunderdome concept, making Wrestlemania 2 nights, several other things he's done in his tenure with the WWE. Like, the WWE and Vince wouldn't have lasted as long as they have if everything was complete shit.
Exactly.
If everything was complete shit, then it would have went down the hill years ago.
Yeah, I agree. And, you know, you look at another historic WrestleMania match. You look at the second night. You've got not only two women main event WrestleMania. And yeah, I know you have WrestleMania 35, where you had a triple threat for the women's, well, the double championship match.
Yeah.
I hate those fucking things. Anyways, you have Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks, the first two black women
Yeah.
to main event WrestleMania.
Was that the second night or was that the first night?
That was the second night.
I thought it was the first.
No, actually, you're right. It was the first.
Foul!
But
I have two African American women main event the first night of WrestleMania that year. I mean, the feeling that I'm sure they had, excitement, joy, shock, I'm sure, disbelief, and like for your company to have like a confidence in you to go, okay, we're gonna have you two main event WrestleMania night one. I mean, yeah, you can go back to 35 when they had, you know, Becky, Charlotte, and Ronda main event in the triple threat, first women's main event WrestleMania history. You know, and I'm sure they were on cloud nine as well. But like, for two people like Sasha and Bianca to get that vote of confidence, man, that shows you just how talented those women are.
oh, I know. Oh,
Like, and I mean, while we're on the subject of Bianca, can we talk about the year she had? Holy fuck. Winning the Royal Rumble, killing it on the main roster here, getting to that point with Sasha for the championship, I mean, and she's still doing really well.
oh yeah. I mean, yeah.
She is such a talented woman.
Oh, I know. And she's still fucking killing it.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and this isn't, you know, a part of our topic, but you look at this past Monday,
Oh, yeah.
you know, fuck Hogan and Andre, you got Belair and Niven.
Yeah.
Christ.
Yeah.
But anyways,
They don't call it the EST for nothing.
nope. And so, I guess to finish off the WWE segment, Roman Reigns.
What a year plus that man's had. Universal Champion, 500 and I don't even know how many days it is now. But my God, since he's become the Tribal Chief, what a run that man's been on.
I know. And I said this in one of our videos a few weeks ago. I don't think he'll ever beat the San Martino record.
No.
But, yeah, the longest champion since, I think, CM Punk.
Oh, he's the longest champion of the modern era.
And that too, yeah. But, you know, you look at this guy, and he was the Universal Champion.
Yeah.
His cancer comes back. He relinquishes the title. And he comes back meaner than ever, a heel, and then wins the Universal Championship again, and to this day, still Universal Champion.
One thing I will say, though, and I'm sure you will agree with me, I don't know, and I don't think it would have been as successful as it was and is, and maybe went as far as it has, had it not been for Paul Heyman.
Yes, and I've said this before. Paul Heyman will turn shit into gold.
Oh, yeah.
You know, there's not... I mean, there's things I don't agree with him about, but... He is one of the biggest geniuses in professional wrestling. And if it weren't for Paul Heyman, yeah, this would not have happened. And I mean, when Brock Lesnar left, and you have Roman Reigns sitting there, and he said something, I can't remember what it was, and then the camera pans on Paul Heyman. What a fucking coup that was.
Oh, I know. I know.
And I mean, we've got the thing now with Lesnar and Roman and whatever. But it's, it is what it is.
I really feel that WWE has the utmost confidence now in Roman to be at the point that he's at now as this character that is why they decided to remove Paul from Roman. Or, well, like, they did the whole thing with Roman and Brock or whatever, but, like, Paul is, back on Roman's side, but I mean, like, for that short period of time, Roman on his own was still doing perfectly fine. Now, to have them put Paul back with Roman's like, okay, keep that going and, like, sell that and, take that to heights. Who knows how long that'll go. But even, when, not if, when Roman eventually does lose the title, I mean, I don't think it'll be very long before Roman gets it back again.
Yeah, I know. But there's just out of this now. I know I say we'll move on, but you have SummerSlam. You have Bianca Belair as your SmackDown Women's Champion. And she's supposed to have a match with Carmella, whose feet smell like, and you have her coming in, and you think they're gonna wrestle, and then,
well, let's rewind that a little bit.
Okay.
Because Bianca was originally supposed to have a match with Sasha.
Alright,
And Sasha couldn't make it, so they introduced Carmella, and it's like, alright, let's see where this goes. Carmella comes out. And it's like, I don't know, alright. Bianca, Carmella in a match. Cool, fine, whatever. Who returns? Becky Lynch. Takes out Carmella, challenges Bianca, and well, we all know how that went. But I mean, it's taken Becky to the level that she's at now. And I mean, it's like I said, her and Lita, Elimination Chamber, fucking killed it.
Yeah. And you look at it this way, I mean, 2018, you tried to have Becky as a heel.
Yeah.
And it didn't work. This time, she really worked her ass off to try to make those people hate her.
Oh yeah, like, when she was doing the whole man thing, it worked really well, but like, as far as being a heel, it just, I don't know, something seemed to be missing. Not sure what it was, but something just seemed to be missing.
Yeah.
And then, have her come back and beat Bianca and get the championship, and then, big time backs, and to be at the point she's at right now, it's like, she figured out what the missing piece of the puzzle was, and is doing very well now.
Oh god, yeah.
Like, she's done it very well her whole career, but to be at that level where you could be a heel, be a confident heel, and do very well, that says something.
Oh god, yeah. And she didn't miss a step either.
Oh no.
She left, maternity leave, and
Yes.
she came back better than ever.
Oh yeah, like, she hasn't lost a step at all. I mean, fuck. You look at, talk about it again. Lita having her first one-on-one match in 16 years. She hasn't lost a step in any means.
Yeah.
In any way, by any means. She can still go, man.
Oh god, yeah. So we have Impact. And I've tried so hard to keep up with it.
Yeah.
in 2021. But, I mean, we obviously watched the pay-per-views.
Yeah.
Talked about that and shit, so... I mean, yeah, that was pretty cool, and I'm trying to think back. Obviously, I knew more about WWE than I did Impact.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, you know, we want to talk about debuts. W. Morrissey.
Oh yeah, W. Morrissey had quite the debut. Jonah
Yeah?
had quite the debut, taking out Josh Alexander. Well, I mean, near the end of last year, you got, Honor No More, Jonathan Gresham,
Yes.
and, that's where it's at right now.
But I mean, it's another one of those things where you also had WWE wrestlers join the product. You had the Iconics.
Yeah.
Now known as the Inspiration.
Yeah.
You know?
Of course, W. Morrissey.
Yeah. I thought maybe Taya Valkyrie would come back.
Yeah.
You know?
But
You have that thing in NXT, and yeah, we already talked about WWE shit.
yeah.
But again, you could have done more with Royal Roca. But it is what it is. Now, Moose had a good year.
Yeah, Moose had a fairly good year.
I mean, you look at it this way, and I said this before, and I'll say it again. I fucking hate people with two titles. I mean, you had the TNA title, which is old school,
Yeah.
and then you got the Impact title.
Yeah.
And for some reason, he felt the need to carry both.
Yeah.
But Josh Alexander had a good year.
Yeah.
And then, had his match with Christian Cage, and
Josh Alexander actually defeated Christian for the Impact
that's right,
Championship.
yes.
Because Christian beat, was it Kenny for it?
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
there was that. And then, of course, Moose took the title from Alexander.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That was a shit show.
Yeah.
You couldn't have Alexander as a champion for 5 minutes?
Yeah.
I mean, you have him in the match, and he worked his ass off. He relinquished the X Division Championship
Mm-hmm.
just to have his match with Christian. So they were in the main event. They have their match. Josh Alexander finally got his match, got his win, got the championship. I believe his wife and kid came into the ring.
Mm-hmm.
Celebrated. And I gotta hand it to Moose, yeah, he did win the contract thingy for a title.
The trophy.
So, yeah, for the title match. But could you not have fucking waited? Really? What the fuck is wrong with Josh Alexander? And yes, I get it. This was the year that Ethan Page left. He left to go to AEW, which meant you could have had Josh Alexander have his moment. And then like that, it gets taken away from him. And it's just one of those things where we talk shit about WWE. And I like to know what the fuck Scott D'Amore is thinking. Whoever the fuck is it, it just doesn't make any sense. Josh Alexander should have had a longer run with the Impact title. Yes, have a match with Moose down the line. Jesus Christ.
I do agree with you. Yes, Josh should have had a longer championship run and, held it for, a few months, and then maybe eventually, drop the title to Moose or whoever. At the same time, in my head, I'm kind of going, I do have an argument.
Alright.
Like, yeah, that was bad for them to have Josh lose the title so quickly, yes, but you're gonna have Moose go to the next level as a heel? What better way to do it?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. I mean, they still could have continued that feud.
Oh yeah, for sure they could have.
Let's fucking talk about that feud. Compare that feud to Christian and Randy Orton.
Well, yeah.
I mean, I find out years later that Randy Orton actually thought it was a good idea for Christian to have a longer title reign, but that's beside the point.
Yeah.
You know. But I mean, you got that. I mean, it was a good year for Impact too.
Like, you can be, all upset about Josh losing the title so quickly and pissed off about how it happened and what, question why it happened and, all this other things, but like, then they've done their job. They did.
Yeah.
They did exactly what they needed to do. Take Moose to that next level as a heel, and kind of push Josh more in the direction of a face, and make you hate Moose more because oh, Josh Alexander finally got the big one. He got the Impact World title, and he's celebrating with his family, and then Moose steals the title from him. What the fuck? But they did their job.
Oh, I know. And that's a good point too, actually. That's exactly it. I think my gripe is that, they just did that, and then, okay, Josh Alexander can go back of the line. We're done with him now. Which,
I guess.
to me, was bullshit.
Yeah, that's true.
Another thing, too, you gotta think about is Don Callis, who was an Impact commentator.
Mm-hmm.
And for some reason, we had the whole thing where you had Impact and All Elite Wrestling join forces for some reason.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at the past, you got NWA and TNA. You've got Border City Wrestling and TNA.
Yeah.
You have... So there was a bunch of, the Hardy Boys when they went all over.
Oh, yeah.
Many different championships. So when you have Impact and All Elite join forces, you've got Don Callis bringing in Kenny Omega.
Mm-hmm.
And, having Kenny win the Impact Championship. Mind you, he had the AAA Mega Championship. He had the AEW, well, he was going to get the AEW Championship. So here you have a guy with 3 belts. And it's like, okay, what's next?
Yeah.
I wasn't watching wrestling or really paying attention. Well, I was watching wrestling. Wasn't really paying attention to Ultimate Dragon and all his fucking titles.
Yeah.
Or fuck, Austin Aries and his fucking titles.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was just one of those things where it was like, you talk about heel heat, Kenny Omega was like one of the biggest heels of 2020.
Oh yeah, hands down.
I mean, you go from him having a tag team with Adam Page, and then you put him with Don Callis,
Yep.
and you turn him into the most cockiest, arrogant prick in the business.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, now that he's injured, fuck. I don't know when he's coming back.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah. I know you're not really the biggest fan of somebody having 2 belts. What are your thoughts on the Deonna Purrazzo situation, I'll call it?
Yeah, that's the thing, and I'm trying to figure that out myself. Because, again, okay, you have the Reina del Rey's champion,
Mm-hmm.
and then you have the now Ring of Honor Women's champion.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, okay, at a certain point, you're gonna have to have her lose one of the titles.
And it will happen.
But see, this is my problem of having the title versus title match at Mania. Because you have a choice to merge both titles. And my thought is, been there, done that.
Yeah.
If you were gonna do that, then why the fuck did you have a brand split anyways?
Yeah. See, in my opinion, what they're doing with Deonna Peralta right now is ideally how you want to have somebody as a dual champion, because, you know, on a weekly basis for the last little bit, they have her come out. It's like, you know, it's an open challenge, so she comes out, and then, you know, whoever her opponent will be will come out and it's like, alright, what championship do you want to face me for? And they'll either choose the Ring of Honor Women's Championship or the AAA Mega Women's Championship. They have the match and so on and so forth. You know, in our YouTube live, I had mentioned that I'm pretty sure it's April, I'm not sure when, but in April, Ring of Honor will be resuming business, so to speak. They were doing TV tapings and live shows and whatever, paper, whatever. So, I have a feeling Deonna's going to hold the Ring of Honor Women's Championship probably close to the time that Ring of Honor is going to start things back up again.
Yeah.
And she'll more than likely lose the title, maybe back to Roxy, or maybe another Ring of Honor Women's competitor will come in and take the title from her so they can have the title back in Ring of Honor. My opinion, my thoughts.
Yeah, that's a good point. Speaking of Ring of Honor, and you know, this is another reason that I think an empty arena works, because, and I said this to Kyle too, you look at the Pure Championship tournament, and it was almost like I'm watching a wrestling tournament, but there's no audience, there's just judges.
Yeah.
And it's like, and because I have a short attention span, for some reason,
Yeah.
I tend to look at what people are wearing, I guess, and no audience, I can just focus on the match. And it's not that I don't enjoy the match, it's that you can't get distracted easily.
What somebody in the audience is wearing, a sign somebody's holding up, whatever.
Yeah. But it was a good tournament.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I mean, you talk about wrestling. And I mean, you've got Jay Lethal and Josh Gresham, who are the Ring of Honor Take Two champions.
Yes.
Jesus, you know, these guys put on a good match
Mhm.
for the Pure Championship.
Oh yeah.
But I think the Octopus as the Pure Champion was a good idea.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So,
Well, even, you know, the Pure Tournament was a really good tournament. So was the tournament for the Women's Championship.
yes.
That was really good too. See a lot of up and coming rising stars.
Right.
I mean, Roxy, that girl, ooh, she is some competitor.
You talk about a small dog with a big dog mentality.
Oh yeah.
Jesus Christ. She is one of the best wrestlers, one of the best female wrestlers,
Yes.
if you will. And I mean, just the whole demeanor of her, and just amazing watching her in the ring.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, you have the veterans and Angelina Love and Velvet Sky.
Yep.
You know, Mandy Leon. And you have Quinn McKay,
Yeah, right.
who, you know, was a commentator.
Yep.
And she was an interviewer. And then, yeah, she can wrestle her ass off.
Oh yeah.
But we didn't know that until she got in the ring.
I know, right?
She probably wrestled it elsewhere, and now she's on Live Up. She made her way to WWE. I suppose they changed her name again.
I think Quinn may have competed in Smash.
Oh, okay,
I'm
yeah.
not 100% sure on that, but I think she did.
Hmm.
It may have been the Can-Am tournament.
Oh,
The all
yeah.
women's like Canada, America.
Yeah. I know that Veda Scott was there.
Veda Scott was, yeah.
And so, yeah, also you talk about the Briscoes.
Oh, yeah.
Jesus Christ. The match at the barn,
Yeah.
and you have their dad trying to get them to stop. And, you know, fight it out, and all that other shit. It was a good match, too.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen them in the ring, and, you know, in previous years, and
Yeah.
this was cool.
At some point or another, can you give us Briscoe's FTR?
Yeah, because, I mean, you look at Final Battle, and
Yeah.
you fucking have FDR show up.
Yeah, you have Briscoe's defeat Bennett and Taven for the tag titles, and then the appearance of FTR, and the back and forth, and then the fight.
Oh, and you want to talk about Kenny Omega as the Triple Mega Champion? Fuck, FTR as the new AAA Tag Team Champions.
Yeah.
I mean, so there's that. You have the appearance of Adam Shearer,
Yeah.
but by that point, Ring of Honor went on hiatus afterwards.
Yeah.
So I think him and EC3 are doing something, but I'm not quite sure what it is.
I believe is they've started up their own wrestling promotion.
And I heard that too.
Yeah. Don't know yet what it's gonna be called, what day it'll be on, what time it'll be on, what channel it'll be on.
Yeah,
You have to keep your eyes open for that one.
right.
And yeah.
So then we go on to AEW.
Yeah.
And what a year.
Yeah, AEW had quite a good year.
I
last
mean,
year.
yeah. So yeah, we talked about Kenny Omega and his time as the Triple Mega Champion,
Yeah.
Impact Champion, the AEW Champion. You know, you have him and Adam Page in a feud.
Yeah.
And Adam Page finally gets the big one.
Mhm.
You have debuts.
Mhm.
I think it was all out. Not only did you have Adam Cole, baby, but you have, right after that, the debut of the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson.
Oh yeah.
And this is a few months after he had a WrestleMania match.
Yep.
That rarely fucking happens.
Oh yeah.
I knew it was gonna happen, but, like, this was fucking amazing.
Yeah.
But it only got better when you have Red Dragon debut.
Oh yeah.
You have, you know, well, that's this year, you know, with Keith Lee and everybody.
Keith Lee, yeah.
You know, Dark Order, you almost thought was gonna break up.
Almost, yeah.
Eddie Kingston had a good tag team.
Yeah, good tag team thing going. Then of course, Moxley decided to take some time off to get himself right and rehabilitate. And
He had a baby.
had a baby.
Well, you know.
Well, Renee did, but wanted to be with her for that, and then of course, go to rehab and kick the habit, so to speak, and comes back and is still tearing it up, and looks like they're gonna be doing something with him and Brian at Revolution.
Let's talk about the fucking lights out match with Thunder Rosa and Dr. Britt Baker.
DMD, baby. That was good.
You know, one of the bloodiest women's matches in You know, WWE for some reason took a shot at it, saying, what the hell is all this blood? But you know what? Fuck off. It's a wrestling match.
Oh yeah.
And the stipulation, there was no reason not to have blood.
Oh, I know.
I mean, these two women put themselves through fucking hell.
Literally.
You got the tables, you got the thumbtacks. This was probably, like, I'm gonna say, the first match since Victoria and Trish Stratus. And hell, that was even tamer than this match.
Oh yeah. And you know, got that match. Then you fast forward a little bit to the women's tag team match with Tay Conti, Anna Jay, Penelope Ford, and the Bonnie. That was wicked.
Yeah. You know, you have the whole thing with Chris Jericho and MJF.
Yeah.
You know, you have Chris Jericho in a match with Nick Cage,
Oh yeah.
with
Hoovy.
Vitor Guerrero,
Yeah, yeah.
with
Wardlow.
yes. And it should have been somebody else, but it had to be Wardlow, whatever. And then, of course, the match with MJF and Jericho. And you would think, well, Jericho should have got redemption. But think about this. You have the old lion put the new lion over.
You could say that, yeah.
You look at MJF, and you want to talk about a fucking old school heel.
Yeah.
This guy is money. And he kills it every time he's on the mic,
Oh yeah.
every time he's in the ring.
Uh-huh.
And just the shit that he does is amazing. He fucking threw Chris Jericho off the steel cage.
Yeah.
And yeah, people thought that was a bad taste, but it is what it is.
I mean, it was good, but I mean, like, just the landing. It wasn't viable.
Yeah.
I mean, fuck, when you had Big LG and Joe Doran go through the stage, that was more viable.
Yeah.
Two big causes like that.
Oh yeah, I forgot to talk about Machine Gun Carl Anderson and Doc Gallows and Impact. And I mean, there's two guys that tried to make their best in fucking WWE.
Yeah.
They still had the Magic Killer, I'll say that.
Yeah.
I just wish they would have went with Machine Gun Carl. Whatever, it doesn't fucking matter.
Don't matter.
So, I mean, there's that. You have a debut finally coming back to professional wrestling. Chicago's own CM Punk. And you know, yeah, you can be bitter, and I understand that. I really fucking do.
Yeah.
I just try to justify that by saying, well, he was the Grand Slam champion. However, I understand. But do you really have to take as many pot shots at WWE? Oh, this is since 2005 that I got back into professional wrestling. And yeah, I get it, WWE is sports entertainment. But when you look at half the shit that Impact, Impact, but also AEW has done, that was corny as shit.
Yeah, I suppose, yeah.
You look at, you know, Jericho and MJF at the steak dinner,
Yeah.
but nonetheless, it was great to see CM Punk come back
Yeah, for sure.
with that shitty MMA career. But anyways,
Yeah.
you know, we'll see what happens, and a dog collar match should be fucking amazing.
Oh, yeah.
But his match with Eddie Kingston,
Yeah.
Jesus. You know, just, yeah. What a year for professional wrestling. You know, I think this was not the greatest, but you know, you look at the surprises in companies.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
you had an Impact AEW merge. You had Miro Suzuki.
Yeah, Minoru Suzuki, yeah.
A bunch of other guys from New Japan come up.
Oh yeah, Minoru Suzuki, Yuji Nagata.
He was on Impact, and I can't remember his name either.
Oh,
It would be cool if Tetsuya Naito was there, but
I can't. I actually can't think of his fucking name.
yeah. But anyways, yeah, it was a very good fucking year for professional wrestling, like I just said, obviously. And this year is, you know what? Okay, and maybe it's not the greatest, but I'm enjoying it, and I think if you enjoy it, then that's all that matters.
Oh yeah.
So, here's to 2022, and next time we are back, we will be doing a double episode. We've got Revolution and
Sacrifice.
so stay tuned for that. Another year of Wheels of Fury, it's gonna be fucking amazing.
Aye.
So, for me, Matt, this is Killer Kyle. Deuces.
See you next time.